Kindly type a message. Oh, okay, awesome. All right, all right. I'm so sorry we're starting 9 minutes behind time. Our two presenters are ready, Irelu Shoito and Olori Ajayi. Irelu Shoito is the founder of A Plus Fashion Academy. Olori Ajayi is the founder of the KT1 company. And they will both be okay. And they will both be having a session with us today. So today we're talking about opportunities for fashion designers to export their fashion products to the international community. So if you're in Nigeria and you want to export your product to Morocco, to India, to the US, to America, to UK, you're in the right room now. Welcome once again. This is A Plus Fashion Academy. We're a premium fashion academy and social enterprise. We aim to deliver top-notch fashion skills and also equip you with the right entrepreneurial knowledge to scale and move your business forward. So guys, one of our speakers is here now, Ire Oluwaseyi. It's a pleasure to have you here, ma.
Thank
Uh,
you.
we're just going to wait for Olori to come live. She was here a second ago.
Okay.
She was here a second ago. Yes.
Okay. Hello,
Okay.
everyone.
Hello. What happened to what happened to our network? Did she just freeze on us? Okay. Ira, if you can hear us, can you refresh your browser? I think you just got stuck in a minute. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Faye. Hello, Charity. Hello, Judith. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Alex. So I'm just gonna drop a poll for us to respond to while we wait for both of our speakers to come up. So you look at the poll and just kindly answer the question of the poll.
Okay. So I went off for a sec. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear
Okay.
you now. All
Okay.
right, that's
Fantastic.
fine.
I guess it was network-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
So hello, everyone. Um, I'm really excited about today, and I'm looking forward to an amazing time today because we decided to have this particular webinar because we wanted a situation where we could, interact with a lot of entrepreneurs, create more market opportunities for a lot of entrepreneurs. Like I always say to people that one of the best ways to be able to scale a fashion business is to start to do ready to wear, which is the reason why we have decided to host this webinar. I'm trying to adjust my camera whilst we have this. So I would like to see your chat. Tell us how you feel this evening. Let's know how you feel on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being you are at your best and 1 being you're at your worst moment, and you're hoping that um, by the end of today you would get the necessary things you need to get to be at the best you would probably want to be where your business is concerned. I know how that the COVID has totally disrupted a lot of businesses. I mean, you've had to review, you've had to go back and pivot your plans, re-strategize. A lot of us have had to look into our business, and we're forced to go to e-commerce because I mean that's where business is now, because we literally cannot be out like we normally would be. and it's a hit on the fashion industry because the fashion industry is that glam industry. It was you know ra- pushed by the event industry as well, the entertainment industry, and now the entertainment industry isn't functioning. I mean, I don't think there you have as many weddings as you used to. For some designers, their business was solely on their ability to make garments for weddings, for events, and now that there are we don't have events anymore, it's gonna tell on their business. So we decided to have this one because I had listened to Olori, and whilst listening to her, I just thought, oh, this is someone I want to bring to the community of fashion. Hi, good evening.
Hi, I'm in. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for coming up. Okay, so I can't hear you anymore.
Is it better?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, it's
Okay.
better now.
I said I had to get my husband down to help me with webinar jam, but it's cool. I like it. It's cool.
Okay. So we did this because we wanted to also be able to keep the record it and then be able to put it up on our social media handles as well. It's easier.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So it's good to have you here. I was just saying how that COVID has made everybody review their businesses. We've had to look, dive back in and decide to say, okay, I'm deciding to go into e-commerce. If I wasn't, looking at e-commerce before now, you obviously cannot stay within a particular geography, which is what a lot of designers in Nigeria do. Their businesses are solely made to measure businesses, which keeps you within a particular geography. So I have been pushing for a lot of people to be looking into ready to wear, because ready to wear is easy to scale. You're able to, move beyond your geography. So when I listened to you speak at the assembly, I just said to myself, no, I have to get her to talk to our community of designers, especially because you have a lot of expertise where exporting is concerned. It's a great honor to have you speak to us. Your story is one that is amazing. I enjoyed every bit of it. I had a full note listening to you when we had that meeting, and it was phenomenal. So let's start with introducing you. I would have said that, your story is sweeter in your mouth. So I'm going to leave it for you to tell that story. But I would, guys, this is Mrs. Olori Ajayi. She's someone I respect a lot because she's doing so much with a lot of entrepreneurs where the fashion industry is concerned. She has a wealth of experience where exporting is concerned. She's helped a lot of people. She works with a lot of organizations. And I believe strongly that for those of us who are in the fashion industry, in Port Harcourt especially, we want to start looking at getting into ready to wear, because that's one of the way forward, especially with the exchange rates going up. You're better off earning in foreign currency. So you want to start looking at how do I start to prepare my business to be able to meet a global market, because that's really key. So we, A Plus Fashion Academy, we help with the business of fashion. We help you with the production process. We help you, quite a lot of you were already talking on your production, helping you create your collection, and all of those things we're doing together. But I just thought that we should bring up Olori because she's an expert where export is concerned. So I would want her to speak. I don't want to take too much of her time because it's her stage today. So Olori, do we start with the questions? We already sent the questions. Would you just go? Do you want me to read and then you answer, or You would just go through the
Let's
questions and
read.
answer.
Let's read. Let's read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So the first question here is, what is the standard for fashion products when it comes to exporting? What would you say the global market is looking for? Because I know that some of the big challenges that a lot of I get to talk to quite a lot of people in the US, and they say, oh, we have issues with the quality of what is coming out of Africa. So what are the things what's the quality that is appropriate for exporting? What should we be looking at?
Okay. So I'll just, because I got you in bits. So what I heard was the steps to exporting. Can you repeat the question? Because it was going in and out slightly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I said, what is the standard? What would the standard for my products? What is expected of the standard for my products? What would be export? What would I say my product? How can I say my product is export ready?
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So I'll rephrase the question, and then I'll take it from there. So being export ready is different from what is expected of my product. Okay. There is the part of you as the business, and then your product. So your business must be export ready, but your product must meet a standard. I don't know if that makes any sense. So number one, being export ready means you understand the market, you've done your homework as per, okay, I have an export plan, which is where I think a lot of people miss that part, and I'll hopefully be able to get into that. But for you to even say you are an exporter from Nigeria, are you registered with the right license and certification, right? Start from those basics. Don't get into I want to export. Start from the work, because before you can get your product out, you're looking at maybe 3 to 6 months of work. But the other thing you need to think about is, now let me bring it home to a proper example. Each customer, each buyer, as we call it in the trade, each buyer has a specification. No two buyers have the same. So what Tunisia or Mali will want from you will be dependent on the buyer, because there's a buying team. So every time they will give you what is called a specification sheet, right? That specification sheet, now let me use this thing on my table as an example. So let's say this is what you produce, right? This thing you produce is good until they tell you they want it 14.5 inches of ceramic, and then the rest should be. So there's no one size fits all. Does that make sense? Like there's no one size fits all for what you be required to do. What you need to do is, once they and I'm going back and forth just because of the way the question came in, but being export ready has more to do with you putting in place the things that will make the buyer come to you. But when you start doing the things that the buyer wants, then you are now packaging your product to meet their specification. So the only thing I would say to you is, don't worry when it comes, because I must say this, specification sheets can be like 30 pages, 20 pages. So I'll tell you this, Irelua, like we had a tech sheet that we had to send out last week to Canada. I am not joking. If you see what they asked us to do, I was just like, this thing is not for children. I'm not joking. But the beautiful thing, like you said, is your life changes when you're in export. That's all I can say, like without sugarcoating it. But
Okay,
your
okay, okay. Oh, Lori, wait,
yes,
let's start like this. So I
okay.
think what is most important for most of us and for most of
Mm,
the people listening right now would be, how can I get my business? What are the steps to get my
good.
business export ready?
That's better.
So I think
Yes.
that would be a better
Yes.
place to start so that
I
before
agree.
we get to the product, let's look at what should the structure of the
Exactly.
business look like and what
Exactly.
are the opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to run you through, I was telling you yesterday that I just wrote a book that basically everything you just
Yes.
asked me, it's in that book, okay, in detail. So I can't go
Fantastic.
in detail because of, time and all of that, but you
Yeah.
have that in the book. And just get your pen and papers ready. The first thing you need to do is registration. First of all, go and register as an exporter.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to me from Nigeria, the recognized certification is with NEPC. It's 13,500 naira, so don't worry your mind. If you have one already, then that means you know that it's just 7.5 for replacement or a renewal. Okay, so
Yeah.
go and get one, and you can pay online. So go on
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nepc.gov.ng, all right, and do that. The second thing that is so critical, look, this one, I can tell you I did it the wrong way. So I'm telling you this from experience. I did not do my market research on the secondary level. There are two levels of market research. The primary is when you're looking at, okay, my product in the country. And then the secondary is the country, as in what kind of terrain do they operate in and all of that. People coming, sort of importing into Nigeria, need to know the problems we're having right now: border
Mm.
customs, the slow
Yeah.
clearance of your goods, blah, 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 blah. Understanding the market of your export destination is critical. I've seen people waste
Mm.
money because they heard that cocoa is selling in Kinikon. If you don't have the proof in your file, and in the book, I elaborated that, look, when you're done with the book, you will have 9 files. And in each one, you will know what it takes to run from the beginning to the end. That's why I said it can take up to 3 to 6 months, right?
Mm.
So when you understood the market, now that market survey, if I were you, I would also use my SWOT. So your SWOT
Mm-hmm.
analysis of your own business. What are your
Mm-hmm.
strengths? What are your weaknesses? Then the
Mm-hmm.
external of the threats and the opportunities that face you. And just for case in point, Irelu, I'd like to use maybe somewhere like the US. Okay, a lot of
Yeah.
people want their products in the US. No
Mm-hmm.
problem. Of course, there is AGOA, right?
Yeah.
We have the AGOA a Trade Act, which was enacted 20 years ago. When I was recently reading that, I said, what have we done with this freedom of goods? And nothing really, if you really look at the numbers
Yeah.
compared to somewhere like
Yeah.
Ethiopia, Kenya, and the likes. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time you do all that research, you look at the country, US. Okay, we're in the US. Say maybe we've exported to Las Vegas, Atlanta, and there's one more. I can't remember right now. And at the time when we did, I'm glad that, see, there's some things you will learn on the job. That's all I can say. So even though Olori is telling you some things, you will still have to make your own mistake, but it will be reduced. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I had done my research, I now forgot logistics. I don't even know how it happened. So by the time we were
Mm.
sending the customer goods, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say, but we'll get to that in a minute. So that's number 2, understanding the potential of your product. What have you identified as a need? Please, Olori says this: you can export what you create or what is needed. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I'll say that again. You can either export what you create or what is needed in that country. That's why I love export, because I'm not tied. I can one day, if I choose to go to cocoa, if I choose to, it's up to me. If I feel that that country needs this thing, I will of course, enter there and all of that. Anyway, the third thing is that you need an export plan. In the book, I give you a full template that you can use to draw up your export plan. Please listen to me. Anybody who goes into export without this plan, it's like you are going to play. they will now send you back to your country and say, go and relearn, So that export plan is basically looking at where does your product fit? Who are the competitors? How are you going to service them? How are they going to reach you? How are you going to reach them? It's like a very detailed, but it's not, don't let it scare you as I'm saying plan. It can be 2 pages, okay? Don't be mortified by the fact that you have to do that. But this is it. The export plan must be how do I explain it? It's not a standalone. So it's actually together with your business plan. So your business plan is first, and then the export plan is on top of it. So if you don't have a business plan, this is a good time to run, or it's not updated. I won't say if you don't have, but if you don't have an updated version, everybody listening to me must have an updated business plan, because COVID came. Every plan you had was thrown out the window. Exactly. So the disruption means that you've got to go back to the drawing board, okay? The export plan looks at a critical thing that I feel a lot of people miss out. Is your staff, human resources here. That one, we were exporting to Australia, Sydney to be precise. And I had to go to New York or something. They put me on one, when you win all these awards, they take you out for a long time and they do all these different things that you have to do. So I was out of the country for a long time. And I'm hoping that you will learn from the mistakes I made, because I was the only one who knew about export. My staff just thought that we were fulfilling orders. They didn't know that we were now operating at a higher level for a higher set of standard clients. And I don't know. And again, I always say I don't know how to skip by, but if you don't know, you don't know. I always say to people, if you don't know, you don't know. You will make the mistakes. And I've learned the hard way. So this client ordered like 5,000 different things for women's wear, tops, this, that, and all. So of course, I placed the call to my manager at the time. I'm like, okay, you do it like this, do it like that, do it like that. So they did it. Unfortunately for me, I got stuck in London that period. Now, I had to go and sort out some things and all of that. So I was out for 8 weeks, Irelua. By that time, they had finished the order and sent it to Australia,
Wow.
So I didn't see it. I was just praying in my spirit that, oh dear Lord, let it shall go well. This lady, the client in Sydney, calls me, via WhatsApp and says, Olori, I'm so disappointed. I cannot believe this is what you sent to me. Pro. I say, oh, Father. So because I'm not around, guys, let me tell you, the day she actually called me, I was in the airport. I was flying out again to somewhere. In this year that I'm talking about, I flew 52 times. If you're an exporter and you don't have let me not say it this way, but let me, as a beginner, have a passport that is very valid. If you don't have, go and get the passport. You need it. Exporters know the terrain. Don't let them tell you about the terrain. Go there. There's no better way to learn than to go yourself. All right. Anyway, so this lady calls me, and she calls me. I'm bitter because I'm like, I promised her that we will not disappoint her. You know what I mean? We didn't disappoint on time. We did not disappoint on turnaround time. We disappointed on the quality, and I'll get to that one. The quality was not standardized because I was running somewhat of a trading company, which means that I don't have to be the one who produces. The issue we have is that we don't have capacity to turn around chunks of numbers. Like I'm saying, give or take, maybe now, I mean, I can do about 100,000 a week of a particular garment, but say maybe then I could only do maybe 2,000, because these things are not, there's really no guideline. And that's also what prompted me with the book. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of people making these horrible mistakes. I kid you not, Irelua, she sent us back half of the batch.
Oh my God.
And of course, it still has that balance till today. Thank God of our policy for 70%. I'm coming to export pricing in a minute. Okay. So we lost our balance, got the returns. I was like, wow. It now let me tell you why it pained me. It didn't pain me because only because she returned the items, but because potentially I have stopped her from engaging another Nigerian. You
Yeah,
must
very true.
understand that when you do exporting and you do it wrongly, you have left a bitter taste in the mouth of the buyer, and you have affected your ability or our ability to do business with that person. Let me rush off quickly. So, logistics and freight. There are some export documentations and procedures you're going to need to know and do. Do I have the list here? Yes, I do. So one of the things we did was we have what we give so if you engage me now, like maybe you send me an email, the first thing I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
send to you is a contract. It's an export contract stating the different laws of, I'm not liable for this is what we provide at the beginning of, sign it, send it back to me and all of that. Then I send you an order request form. Make sure everything, I have emails from when we started. I still look at some because some government tenders require that we actually show them how far we've gone and all. Then you're going to need quality assurance or quality control measures, certifications that you have, no matter how small. Please get them. Me, that I'm telling you, I'm still struggling to get one. You know why? Because international standards are high, but they are achievable. They
Yeah.
are. I promise you, they are. Okay. Now, commercial invoice, you have to have that, because the invoice has to go in the packaging, and I'll get to packaging in 2 steps. But ensure that you know how to draft a commercial invoice. Like I said, all these things are in the book. I can't go into that. Then your packing list. Please let me tell you a joke about this packing list one. We still make this error. Almost how many years on, we still make the error. Don't bite yourself because you make errors in the beginning phase. What you need to do is learn fast. In exporting, learn fast, move quick. Don't say, hey, we disappointed this person. What did you learn from disappointing them? Packing list, you say there's 50, the person said they counted 48. What do you do? What measures do you put in place to ensuring that you are not lagging behind where packaging is concerned? All right. Now, other things you need to ensure, maybe not so big a deal, but can you get, for some of you now, you're going to need LCs. I remember when we were trying to ship something to Ghana, and we actually needed LCs and all the likes and blah, blah, blah. LCs are letters of credit that the bank gives to, the buyer to say, don't worry, she's not going to run away. We got this, okay? It helps you, it helps the buyer. It's both ways, okay?
Okay.
But don't worry about that yet. You won't need LCs until you get to a certain level. You can still, with your lawyer, work some things out if it's not a huge order, okay? Now, the other one is logistics and freight. If you want to export, you need to understand the basic terms of shipping. You need it. When I say Incoterms, what does it mean, right? Understanding the fact that you as the sender of the goods and the receiver, both of you are protected by different processes, laws
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
assure that you are covered once you pick the right choice of shipping, right? Some people, they do FOB. Me, I'm still like, can we just go the route of customs through the route of freight forwarder? Let me give it to
Mm-hmm.
somebody. And I won't lie to you, I think it does take off the stress. If you want to go into exporting, get a good freight forwarder. You're going to need it. Remove the headache of, hey, where is the goods? Oh, has it landed? Has it not tracking? You don't need it. Focus on your work. Focus. Okay. Other things that you will need to ensure that you do is so I'll give you another example. In the bid that we did last week, we had to get a customs broker in the country. That's the first time I've ever had to do that. The customs broker is the one that will clear the goods for you, because sometimes the buyer says that, oh, we don't want to get involved in shipping at all. We just want it to be door to door,
Mm-hmm.
You will need a customs broker to actually get it, because in the past we've always dealt with your goods are on board, bye bye, see you later, and we're out.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
Mm-hmm.
you get it and all of that. So that's that with logistics and freight. And now that COVID has really done what it wanted to do, you will have to, how do I say this? The expectations of your buyer, you have to manage it. You have to manage it. People still want their goods on time. They still want it, no. You tell them, see, when you arrive, you arrive. I don't have any say in that. So there may not be a standard delivery time now because of COVID. I ordered something from Shanghai on the 27th of May. It has still not arrived in Nigeria. It was supposed to go through Miami and go through one other country and get here. I still have not received it. Today is the 11th of June. So, and the items are like maybe 40 kgs, not even a lot. So you need to really manage the expectations of your buyers. Then the last thing I want to say about logistics, even though you are giving it to a freight forwarder, you also have to start learning the ropes. Don't leave it to him and let him now come and be giving you quotes, be giving you all sorts, and you just say, hey, thank you. No, learn it. What is he billing you for? You may not know it in the beginning, no problem. But as he's bringing it, tell him, oh yeah, explain this on the invoice, explain this on the bill of, what do you call the? Yes, bill of lading. Yes, write it there, tell me, and all of that, okay? So it's really important that you do that. So now moving to export pricing. This one, this one is why I've stayed in export for so long. I honestly feel that there are two ways to price for exporting. And I don't think just putting the cost of your product and a margin is where you should really head towards. I looked at a few things, and I'll give you an example. When we were doing the Sydney order, I looked at how easy is it for this woman to get my product into her country. So the demand and the scarcity at the same time of what I'm offering. I won't give it to her at just anyhow small margin. And see, you're in Sydney, Australia, very far. So of course, I gave her the highest possible prices. Now, I did that with the knowledge of prior prices. So when you're looking at the different regions, how you price is also based sometimes on region. So when you're looking at the EU, you can't bill them more than, I think it's like 30 to 40%, on margin, because they have to put 2 to 3 times the price that you charged them. Should I take that again? Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So I understand, but I think you should take it again.
Okay. So basically, depending on which region you are exporting to, you need to know what is the industry, the market standard. That is, sometimes some regions can only put 2 to 3 times the profit, the cost price. They can only do it by law. It's not that it's in their hands. So it means that you as the seller, right, you have to ensure that your prices are competitive enough or it meets their standard, either one way. The only thing with those, and I remember the first time I wanted to enter the EU, the pricing and everything went well. What didn't go well was logistics, right? Because there are some interesting places in that people, and this is what I'm saying. Some people can get an order. You can get an order from, let me see which country, Romania, right? And you're like excited, yay, somebody from Romania wants my product, and you're like really happy. Before you get happy, how are you going to get this product to Romania or Slovakia? And those are the things that I wish somebody had actually said to me, because I'm like, how am I gonna get these things there? And I did, but here was the problem. The weight was nothing extravagant, but the cost was very extravagant. It was almost past the cost of the goods in itself,
Wow.
So think about those things. You can be happy they are calling your business from different parts of the world and all of that, but just make sure that, you are keeping it, what's the word, affordable for the person that's buying for you. Okay. And I'll just quickly rush up because I think I've been talking a lot.
We're
Export
enjoying
finance.
you.
Export financing. I love this one because for the first time, I actually need 49 million, something in excess of 49 million to service a particular order. And I've never needed that amount of money before. So what happens is this, guys, when you get an order, depending on who it's from, you can get an order from a government, you can get an order from an organization like a business that's in the maybe retail. Now, because we're in fashion, so I'm just going to use the fashion phrases. So it can be from government for different government apparel, garments, and all of that. In this
Olori,
season,
let me pause you a little bit because now I'm thinking and I'm looking at the people who who are listening to us. So there
yes.
are two kinds of people now. We're talking about someone who is probably doing small scale in Port Harcourt and wants to start exporting.
Yes.
How do they start?
Yes.
Secondly, the people who are already established,
Yes.
already have a good market base here in Port Harcourt in Nigeria, and is looking at how can I get those big orders? How can I get orders to make 10,000 pieces? So I need you to walk us through
On those two.
both. Yes.
If you want to get started tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Because you don't start exporting. It's a process. It's a process. Like, okay, the first thing is your registration. Go and get registered as I want to export. When you do that, then do the trainings from zero to export ready on NEPC. There is no other way, guys. I'm telling you. Otherwise, you just gonna make your mistakes, and that's okay too. That's also a route. Okay. The other places that also give you good information, rich information, is called SME Trade Academy. Just put it on Google, as I've said it, and in that you have a lot on export topics, things that will really, really give you like 8 weeks teaching. If you go into export without training, it's like you are ready to squander. That's all it is, and I know that there's nobody here that wants to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So please try and do the training. Those trainings, like I said, are offered on 2 platforms that I know, and they are good and they are informative: SME Trade Academy and NEPC. But NEPC now doesn't have any because of the COVID situation. They used to have trainings and all that. She Trades is also good for that. I think they are the ones that do SME Trade. I'm not sure, but She Trades is also very good, and all of that. Okay, so I'll just keep talking. I think Irelua has quickly exited. So for those who want bigger orders and all of that, you can check on different platforms, such as, I think I have one I can share quickly. Let me just get it, guys. Give me a second. So I give it to you as is. So I received a government tender from another country, Dubai to be precise. So there are places where you go and get these tenders. If you don't know, you don't know. You know it already. Okay. So if you want to go to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, I'll show you a text message I got while I was in this meeting just now. Oh, this is the one they are talking about. Okay. So please write this down: bcbuae.com. bcbuae.com. You'll see all the opportunities for export there for different women's accessories. You have a women's active wear, women's swimwear. You understand those sort of things. So anything you want to do, if you are now thinking scale, or if you want to do big scale, let me tell you, for those of you that want big fish, there's nothing wrong with it. But please ensure that you have from pre-production all the way to post-production, your process is tight.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
from pattern making to sampling, understanding the different types of samples. Samples are in different cadres. There's pre-production sample, there's sample for maybe a batch. It's different, it's not sample. Sample is not the same, and when you talk, when you talk without understanding, the buyer knows. Let me just warn you now. When you don't use the right lingo, you don't use the right tech word, they're like, this one is jolly just come. So try and firm up on your what's it called, on your technical things. Okay, so let me show you. While I was on this call, I can get my thing out. Okay, here we go. So while I was on this call, I had I don't know if you guys can see my, so let me see. Okay, so this is the request. The person says, would you be interested in going a 100,000 face mask order at 100 naira per mask? Not negotiable though. Timeline is 7 to 10 days. You can see the date is today, right? Can you see it? When I saw it, I just did like this. Look, sometimes the order may be big, but your profit margin will be too small. It won't make sense for you. It will not make, don't be happy. Don't say, hey, we got order for 20,000. If you do your maths, because what I said to the person is, I can't. You know that the person is not giving you fabric. The person is not the one paying your staff. And if they've not put a deadline, hey, that deadline means that you may have to overwork your staff. If you overwork your staff, who will pay them? 100 naira per mask? No. The only things I will consider, two things. If they allow us to use a slightly less what's the word, cotton material, so more poly and all that, I may consider it. If they say that they can extend it to maybe 2 weeks, I can. So getting government jobs, it's, guys, I'm telling you, you just make sure that you are consistent. As you say, you want to start now, don't cut corners. I cut corners then and I hate it. I regret it. I maybe not regret, but I wish I had just done it the right way. I may have gotten to where I'm going faster. Okay, so that is one of the places where you can start getting government tenders. Then there's another site, I can't place my hand on it now, but I'll probably send it to Irelu and she can share with you guys. But there are other places. It's also in the book that is going to be released. The book is being released on Sunday, the first part. So for those of you who want to do export, the book will be out on Sunday. You can start buying by Monday. And I've said to Irelua that I'm giving everybody on the call only 30% off the actual price. It's just $7. So it's not a money-making guinea for me. It's 3,150 cost price, so 30% off that. So what you do is
nice of you. Thank you. So you guys say thank you.
So you just put your AAF Academy as the subject when you are buying or something, because they will ask you, if you have any promotional code or whatever. So
thank you.
Where was I? Yeah. So I think that we've covered that part. The other, yes, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, keep going. Let me see. Okay, trade. 1 second, give me. If you could type in, 1 second. Okay. Can I send it to you somehow? Let me send it to you one. Irelua, how can I send it to you immediately? Is it possible?
Yeah. Send it to the mail, corporate@AFA.
The mail.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing that now. Corporate.
Or much easier, can you hear me? Much easier, you could send a chat message to the admin directly, and I'll just see it in the chat session.
It's on my phone, unfortunately, so I won't be able to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So I've sent it to her. I've sent it. It's gone already. It's gone. So hopefully,
All right.
yeah. Okay. But this site is really cool. Okay, really, really good stuff. So go have a feast on it. Then for those of you who also want to, who are not in fact, is there anyone in fashion not on the call? Do you know, Irelua?
If there's anyone,
Who is not in garments?
oh yeah, there are a few people. I've seen someone who is doing jewelry. I know
Okay.
Mimi is in jewelries. I know that there's someone in makeup. She does
Okay.
like shea butter and stuff like that. Shea
Okay.
butter, black soap
Okay.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So reason why I'm asking is that when you're doing this research, try and get the updated report of this industry you are in post-COVID.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Don't go by, as at 2019, even early 2020 is not valid again.
Yeah. True.
Some things that you want to do. Now, please, I'm going to shake a table with Relua, please. Just permit me.
It's okay.
Ready to wear means that you have things that you think will sell based on some
Mhm.
form of market survey, blah, 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 and all
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
And that's not wrong. But do you want to sell? And this is where I'm not trying to preach prosperity, but this is where the wealthy people differ from those who just want to be passionate. You know, you say follow your passion. I
Mm.
disagree with that
Mm.
statement. Your
Mm.
passion can lead you to
Follow where the
poverty.
money is.
Hey, thank you, my sister. Because you have to decide, are you an entrepreneur or a passion pursuer?
Mhm.
Hello?
Mm.
Entrepreneurs are not thinking only about is my passion. They are thinking first and foremost, I'm solving a problem and I'm taking a risk. Right? So you have to know which one that you want to be, because I don't think ready to wear is where we're headed post-COVID. I
Mm.
do know that some sectors, like undergarments, we will continuously wear pants, bra, boxers, vest.
Yeah.
Those things will not lose their place because we will still wear them. What
Mhm.
will change, though, is the quality as per. So just imagine this. If there's COVID, and I want you to now walk your way back to our value chain. If there's
Yeah.
COVID and farmers are not able to go on the farm, how would they get
Mhm.
cotton?
Mm.
How
True.
would they get any cotton? They can't
Mm.
even do any yarn. They no yarning, nothing. They can't do anything because everybody is stay at home. What effect does the shortage of cotton mean for us as the producers?
Mm.
What does it mean? There's going
Mm.
to be a smaller supply, or it means that what is available will be more expensive because more people are
Mm.
fighting for it. If you,
Mhm.
and you must be futuristic as an exporter. You must know when to
Yeah.
cut your
Yeah.
losses. Know when to cut your losses. For some of you, you want to do food and all of that. There are some food items that will actually pick up. There are some things in the agriculture space, the value chain there is going to be disrupted completely, but some parts of it are going to see traction big time.
Mm.
You as the exporter, remember, I am first an exporter before I'm a garment person.
Yeah.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
say to people, I'm an export consultant. I'm not a manufacturer. I operate
Mm.
in the manufacturing space. It's different.
Mm.
So I want
Mm.
you to elevate your mind from, I want people to wear my designs all over the world. That may
Mhm.
have been possible because I had that dream. I had a brand, Olori. We launched in 2017. I was feeling sexy. I was feeling cool. Like, I want to say, in fact, I would take my lookbook to different stores. I went to Berlin. I went to Germany. I went to London, of course. I went to the US. I went to Australia in one trip. Oh. That's why I said, you must go to these places yourself. Right? But anyway, what I would say is that please don't try and be too passion oriented in this season. Be on a thrive mind alert. Thrive, thrive. Learn the new industries you need to learn fast. Everything is online. You pay for some, get some free, but don't wait for freebies, okay? And for those who want government sized, or let me not use government, but government doesn't mean it's always big. Government sometimes does only 100,000 pieces. 100,000 you can finish in a week if you have the right production plan, right? So my point is, try to, first of all, get your house in order. Look at your business now and say, okay, this is where we are. You are looking at all your ready-to-wear clothes hanging in your shop. You are crying and you're upset. Remember what I said, cut your losses fast and quickly change your trajectory fast too. You understand? Let the spilt milk be spilt milk, no problem. Now, what next? That's the first question that must be on your mind. You want to do exporting? Fantastic. What do you know about the industry for garments? What do you know about the industry for other products? Under AGOA, what are the things? Now, AGOA is debatable. Most people say that AGOA is not favorable, this, that. I don't join them in the conversation because so far I get what I'm doing and I get it done and everybody is happy, I am good. Don't get caught up on annoying conversations. Let the policy people deal with policy, okay? But in essence, what I am saying is the opportunities are enormous for export. It's you that will be tired, I'm telling you. You'll just be like, how come people don't know these things? The new one that I even started doing is exporting my knowledge. You can export intangibles. You can, right? That's what a lot of people are doing with the online space. And just like Iroluwa said, online is the beginning of your wealth right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're going to look at your online space. Let me help you. Don't sit down and try to do this thing yourself. Coca-Cola, the owner is not the one who sits behind and starts saying, caption of the day, do infographics. He's not the one that does all that. Learn now. Let me tell you one of the best things that happened to me in 2020. I started learning to give experts their role in my company. Iroluwa, anybody who is operating a business now and you are the smartest person, you are not ready to scale up.
True.
Because my marketing consultant right now, the way she says some things, the way she knows the who's like, I still sent her a message today. I said, you are just too good. My other team members had to write to her on our group and say, you make things happen so fast. You are so good. Like they were praising and I was happy. If you are the smartest person in your team, auntie, uncle, repent. COVID is at hand. You know, so please wake up. The coffee has been passed around. It's left for you to know how much you want to drink. You know what I mean? So what I would say is start looking. If you need, Olori, give me people that are not too expensive that I can bring on board to draw me up a digital blueprint. What I can start doing, maybe 50K, on 80K, 100K. You can't want government tender and not spend money. The other day, we had to bring a photographer into our studio, you know, just do some angles, some shots, put it on the website and all that. And it cost us money. But I know what those pictures have also done. I also know, right? That's on one hand. The last thing I'm going to say before I'm going to shut up now is on JVs, right? So as Iroluwa was talking, I was like, this auntie is she's in my space now. We're all doing trading and all that because there's a word for it. You know, just because you're off taking and being, you know, outsourcing things to someone like your company, at the end of the day, you guys are suppliers. You are suppliers. The thing is, people mistake manufacturer and supplier. The manufacturers are the ones that you give the job to. The middleman is the supplier. Right? And then of course the end user who may be the buyer or the consumer, I don't know. But I want you guys to consider, so if I have a job now, and I'll tell you what a good example of collaboration looks like, because I feel like people talk about this collaboration too much. It's too much. I'm like, give me examples so I understand what you're saying. I'll give you one. In April, I found out that my capacity, if I keep going at this rate, I will not be able to take more than maybe like 200,000 in a week. So I said, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I partnered with another lady, right? And now we've moved that figure to about well over 500,000 can be done in 10 days, right?
Wow.
Then somebody now sent me a message. See, you also have to believe that when you start upgrading your business, somehow, somehow, even God will have mercy on you and say, you are doing well.
Yeah.
Let me bless you with an order that will change your destiny and your children's zone. I'm telling you. But if you stay at this small level and saying, no, we just want to export. No, export with the end in mind. What is the end?
Yeah.
That's how one day, one person from the UN just sends me a message. It's not even like we're friends. He just sent me a message because I sent him my little text message when we started producing face masks in March then. And I said to him, we do this, we do that. He just sends me a message and says, can you produce 1 million in a day? What's this?
A million face masks. Yes. I'm also startled.
But that question just put a possibility in my head. That Olori, attain for it. If somebody is thinking it, it can be done. It can be done. Think about it. For him to ask me, it means somewhere, somehow, it can be done. There's nothing called impossible. You just need to upgrade yourself. Upgrade your business, upgrade yourself. So what you can do, because some of you, and I'll tell you one of the beauty that has come out of this partnership I currently enjoy. Sometimes I'm the one that has capacity. She doesn't have capacity. So she will say to me, Olori, if I get the job, you give me profit sharing. So I may give her maybe 30% because she's not the one doing the work. But sometimes she brings the job, right? And then we share because we're both, I don't know if you get but everybody's happy. The contract was signed. Do I have a copy here? Sorry, I have an export folder. All the paper you haven't seen me arrange. Okay, yes, I do. I have a hard copy. So this is the hard copy of our contract that was signed. Can you see Katie Wang? Never join anything with your private name. No need, right? You do it for your company. So that if they want to sue you, they cannot sue you personally, to sue the company.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just talking. Sorry. Go on. Ask me questions now.
No. We. I mean, I'm having a beautiful time. Okay, so guys, you need to put down your questions. I know that some people have put down questions so that we're asking. I have a lot of questions, but let me start with the questions that have been put down here in the comment section. You can put your questions down so we could take them. Someone asked that, can you, a third party exporter, that is, you contract out the items you want to export to another manufacturer? So I think what the person is asking is it possible for you to get the jobs and then contract it out to someone who would manufacture and then you do the supply? You answered that question already, but just go through it again.
Yeah. So I'll tell you how I started my face mask business, and I have to lower my voice in case my neighbor hears, right? So my neighbor calls me middle March, and he says, just normal conversation, right? Just, hey, may your brain pick opportunities that are for you.
Amen.
He just calls me and he says, hey, Olori, one Americana like that. Hey, Olori, I just wanted you to know that my company started a face mask business, and what's the other one that they did then? Sanitizer business, blah, 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 blah. We're going to be launching this weekend. I was like, wow, Mr. Brown, so great, so wonderful. I was really genuinely impressed. As I dropped the phone, now so one spirit, I don't know if you know that same spirit, Irelua. That spirit just said to me, Auntie, it's not a well-wishing call. It's a call for you to open your ears and know how you will be able to satisfy customers that you have but couldn't meet their demands because you don't have that kind of manufacturing plan. So I just drafted, and I'm very practical, right? I would have shown you the text, but it's probably muddled up somewhere. I just drafted, it couldn't have been more than 2 paragraphs. At the end of it, I put my shame aside and I said to everybody I sent it to, I would really appreciate if you give me any referrals for the production of face masks or hand sanitizers. And I sent it to 10 people in my network that I know have Three things. One, clout, CLOUT. Two, have very good international connections. Three, they have what I call quick turnover. You know, there's some people you tell gist, they will never bring return on that gist. I wanted people that, as I'm telling them, they'll be like, somebody just asked me, correct, I bet, bring it. That's how somebody just called us. And this person says, Olori, guys, hear this, me, we don't get factory. Can you imagine? I've lost my accent. Olua, what did you guys do to me just now? Like, what was that?
We're enjoying you, Olori. As in, we're gonna. By the time we're done, we would have drained you. We're having a good time, honestly.
So that's how somebody just calls me. And the reason why I say somebody just, because also remember, nothing just happens. The moment I sent that text out, I set in motion what I call the law of attraction. That things will begin to come together because you have now set it in motion. One girl just called me. Hi, Olori, do you produce face mask? I did not send it to her. I did not. She said, do you produce face mask? I said, yes, we can. She said, okay, can I get 1,000 by next week? I said 1,000. Then 1,000 seemed very like, how am I going to do it? I don't have a factory. Can we not forget that, right? I don't have anything, but I do have manufacturers, right? Who I've built over the years and all of that. I just called one of them. I told the client, I said, let me get back to you. Never promise what you cannot deliver. It's the worst thing you can hire. Worst. So I said, I'll call you back. Let me just get back on all of that. And then I called my manufacturers. I said, hey, Jay, Kiniko. I said, can you make face mask? One of them was saying, Ma, I have seen it done. I say, my friend, better go and learn it on YouTube, quick. She calls me back in 20 minutes. Say, Ma, I can do it. I say, hey, now you're talking. Which one is you are still learning? Come on. Iroluwa, that's how we sorted out that order. Wow. I collected the money. I settled my manufacturer. I kept the middleman money, and customer very happy to the point that that was the same person that asked me for 100,000 a few minutes before this call. It's not a coincidence.
Wow.
From 1,000, one. Wow. I can show you the name. I don't know how to fib on those things. So you can satisfy any market once you have the supply chain. Once the supply chain is amazing and you've settled all your processes and all of that, you've made sure the price that your manufacturer is giving you doesn't overshadow. Are you getting my point? So you will look at all the things that you can maybe miss on. Maybe for some people, they don't know how to manage manufacturers. Me, I know how. I'm an expert now. Nobody can disappoint me. I will disappoint you before you disappoint me. So try not to overpromise on anything. Once you are the middleman, never overpromise. Once you are the middleman, please don't overpromise. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. Orelu, are you there? Hello? 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 Okay.
Okay, I'm here. I think she has.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to share the link of what you sent to me via email now. It's not the right time, but I should hold in a little bit.
Okay, so I think I froze. My network went off. Okay, is she back? The network is quite bad. It's bad on my end, and I froze for a bit.
It's
okay.
I
think we're back now. Okay. So Olori, some of the questions I think I want to ask. What are the most important? So I have learned so much. I think one of the major things that I have seen with you is your tenacity your ability to go for what you believe is available to you. I mean, for some of us, we even had the supply chain, we even have the manufacturing company, and we did not talk to anybody. We did not say anything to anybody.
Right, right.
Yes, so I think that for me, it's really commendable. So I want to ask a question. I know that I saw a few questions, but before then, I want to ask you, what are the pitfalls one must avoid when looking at exporting? I mean, it's fantastic that we have your book coming up. I'm also writing a book where production is concerned. What are the things you should be looking at when you're producing? However, I know that there are lots of it's the easiest way to get to where you want to get to is through mentorship.
Right.
Going with someone who has been where you want to go. So I know you have had lots of years of experience, with exporting and manufacturing, handling the manufacturer and the buyer and being the middleman. What are the pitfalls you think one should really, look out for? I know that you had mentioned on having documentation, the plans. You mentioned how that you should sign the contract properly, and especially not in your name, in the name of your company, which is fantastic. What are other things that you want to say to us? Look, if you see this is a no-go area. Don't go to this zone.
Okay. Thank you for that question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So I would answer it being as two people. The first person I will answer it as is a supplier, right? So the supplier is not the one who produces, okay? Then I will answer the question as a manufacturer because I've also been a manufacturer. You understand what I mean? So let me answer it from those two those two angles.
Yeah.
So as the supplier, the first thing is that make sure your percentage is there. Don't accept jobs just because it's voluminous. No. Like once you do your math, and using this example of the text I showed you guys, I've looked at it, 100,000, 100 naira. Okay, fine, it's 10 million naira, but I can just see that maybe my own there may just be like maybe 1.5. I'm sorry, I'm not producing 100,000 mass for 1.5 million. That's what it means for you as the supplier. Okay. Now, you need to ensure as much as possible that you avoid thinking that the cost price is your own money. Does that make any sense as a supplier, right?
Yeah.
So try as much as possible to get your own margin on top of that cost price being given to you by your manufacturers. Then this is another thing I would avoid. Get your contracts in place between you and the manufacturer as a supplier.
Yeah.
Because dollar today can have fever and say it wants to come down or it wants to go up. To avoid force majeure, what they call that French term in a contract, where they says that because of extenuating circumstances, it's not our fault. No, it's your fault because the cost of elastic as for face mask must not go up, and then you now tell me that, oh, you've now increased your price without no. Those things must be documented. If there is to be a price difference, you must give me 30 days notification by email, by this, write it there. Don't say your own is too much. Then when I used to send my manufacturers contracts, because manufacturers, no offense, they are not exactly the technical type, not technical, sorry. They are not bookies, like they don't like book like that. They just want to do the production, now give me 50,000, give me, you understand? They just want to be doing their factory work. That's what they like. So when you start telling them to go through contract, sign this, you are just busting their brain like, I beg. So, but I used to force them and say, please sign it, because I know how you people now. Once money enters your pocket, your mind too will be feeling like, you understand? So remove that, alleviate it through contract. Now, the other part now, being a manufacturer, this is what I think you should really, really avoid. When you are invoicing your, when you're sending an invoice to your client, when I've had this too many times, the customer will tell me, I can't pay VAT. Oh. Excuse me. Well, I don't want to teach you a bad thing, because I don't know if there are tax people on this our call now, so I'll not be getting email by tomorrow or Monday. So what I would say, and I told you not to do shortcuts anyway, so let me just put it out there. But I think it's really important that you understand that once you start earning big money, banks notice when huge amounts come into your account. When that money starts entering your account, they will notify FIRS on your behalf without your permission. I'm telling you what goes on behind closed doors. This one, they won't put it in, I can't put it in a book. Are you getting my point? I'm only sharing this because I'm telling you that now is not the time to cut corners on taxes and all those deductibles. Pay it. So that when you are cashing out at maybe 100 million, 120 million, 450 million, because we had a job for hand sanitizers, the bill was 455 million for hand sanitizers. Are you telling me they pay us that money? The bank will not say, $1 million in one day. Are you getting my point? Before the dollar went up, it was $1.5 million. Are you getting my point? So when you start operating in some level, on some level, I beg your pardon, you will have to do some things by the book to avoid embarrassment. So I will avoid cutting taxes and things that belong to government. Don't. Then another thing I would say for manufacturers is that sometimes I feel we get complacent in the sense, and I'll give you a good example. Not recently, maybe 2 days or yesterday and 2 days ago, I was looking for training for my staff, for the production manager, the operations supervisor, and the assistant production manager. I was looking for a training for the three of them because I noticed that we may need to also change the skill set of our top level guys based on post-COVID.
Yeah.
So I want to avoid this one. I've not even avoided it, but I want to avoid somebody operating with an old system with a new reality. I don't want that, So, and then I don't also want them to think that I'm being too apprehensive when I say, guys, you need to know this, rather than shouting, just put them through the course. So if I were you, I will avoid the misfit of current realities with an old operating system in your factory, which comes about when you don't upgrade the skills of your staff or to the degree of what is on ground. That's what I find. Avoid it. New techniques have come out in this post-COVID season because of the way some PPE materials need to come out. They found faster ways, effective ways, efficient ways of cutting out some materials. Elastic. Some people don't use elastic for their face mask. What are you saying? They don't. They use fabric. They found a way. You need to get your staff up to speed with the current realities in production. So that's what I would say for the two ends of it.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so because I want us to end on time, so we don't take too much of your time, let's just take these questions. Someone asked, okay, I think that's her second question. Let me see the first one. She says, Mrs. Olori, please, if you advise, what product would you advise someone who is a newbie, who is just starting? What would your advice be for someone who is just starting exporting and looking at exporting? What would you say the best product should be to enter the market?
My sister or my brother, it's not that easy. Um, um, Sorry, I just got some form of alert that just startled my brain. Sorry. I'm sorry. So you want to start and you want Olori's advice. Olori's advice for newbies is not for you to look for the product. Look at the process first. The process will determine the character fit. Iroluwa, do you know that this exporting thing is a character fit? I'm not joking. The people that don't like gra cannot do the manufacturing. Because you'll be frustrated with your staff.
Yeah,
With the
there's a
supplier
lot of
telling you to do-
pressure.
Yes, there's just it's a high, an intense working. So if you are somebody that doesn't like any of that, you cannot be the manufacturer. So you move yourself into the middle part, which is the supply. But you are somebody that gets the job done. You are somebody like who gets things out of impossible. You understand what I mean? Decide that first before you look at the product. There are and I don't know, did I share in the book the different products to export? I think I did. So get the book. Get the book. I put it there. What I did in the book, however, was that I just put down based on reports by, maybe KPMG and the likes who have done a post-COVID analysis, sort of looked at which products and maybe sectors in the space will pick up and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I would say. Use your.
So it's in the book, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, fantastic. Then someone asked, what percentage of money would you collect before delivery? So if I'm supposed to deliver maybe a certain number of products, how much is the percentage?
I get you. So
Sorry?
that for me is relative, because in export, most of your tenders, they don't even give you money up front. Remember, I talked about export financing. You will need export financing at some stage. In the beginning stages, you can ask for maybe 70%. That's what most people know. But remember, you are not the one who calls the shot. There is a standard for the country you are going into. That is part of your research. What are the payment terms of Las Vegas? What is the payment terms for Italy? You are the one that will do that, because you're going to say, we accept only 70%. What if they only give 30? So don't be fixated on how Nigeria works. Nigeria is not Africa, and Nigeria is not the whole world. So expand. And let me tell you this, if you want to be an exporter, you have to be a global citizen. Write it down. Think like the people you are trying to sell to. Don't say we're Africans. No, we're not Africans. When you go to Ethiopia, you know that Africans are like this. We are very vast in the way we behave. South Africans, Nigerians are said to be, I don't agree, aggressive. But in other places, you find it very cool. Life is not hard. You not say, hey, you just say, what was this one? You have to learn culture. Culture is critical when you're an exporter. Know how to talk, know which language not to use. You understand? And don't be too fixated on money. In some cultures, when you're too fixated on the money, they draw back and say, this person, I'm suspecting. Different things, different dynamics. So the amount you will collect from your from the buyer is dependent on what goes in that region. Number one. Number two, it's also dependent on what you have available to complete the job. If you go and complete a job, you understand that you can't now meet it because you told them you can. Sometimes a job can cost you 750,000 naira, right? And you've billed them 1.5, right? But you are even only able to get 500,000. You may have to find the remaining 250K. So don't worry about what should you bill. First of all, do the homework. What gives in that export destination? You understand? And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It is not. I can guarantee you. Even differs within a region. Sometimes depending if it's a government or if it's a high retail store, like maybe somebody wants to put your vests in their chain, in their retail chain, you have to ask, what does that company give? What is it that they don't give? Are you getting my point? So it's even different in business to business. Yeah.
Okay, Olori, so let me ask these questions for the purpose of those who are here. Some people asked, how do we get the book? She said the book will be released on Sunday, so we would, once she sent it to us, we would definitely post it on our Instagram, on all our social media handles and all the WhatsApp handles as well. We'll send out the link so that you have, you can get the book. However, I want to ask a question. So if I'm a tailor now, I'm a designer, and as we call it, and I have 3 tailors working with me. How can I, look into getting opportunities around producing masks? I might not be able to do the 1 million pieces, but I can do 5,000 pieces. I can do 1,000 pieces. How do I get those opportunities?
Oh, Irolu, it's because you're in Port Harcourt, so I will send you some hamper for this wonderful, for this wonderful question. I think this is by far the most important question you've asked me today. I don't know, and I'll explain why. Because from this question, you can start to unravel what I like to call the journey, right? You may not be able to satisfy the 1 million, as you rightly said, but this is the trick. Join associations, join agencies, join networks. That is the quickest way. I wrote a whole chapter of that in the book. You don't need to bother your mind as to how do I start when some people have already started. With your 3 tailors and yourself, as 4, join manufacturers association. They may be too big for someone like you. Join AWEP, African Women Entrepreneurship Program. If you're a woman, join NEPC, join different things. Let me tell you what happens. It's not even just the opportunity that happens. They start to invite you for trainings. They start to invite you for different webinars that will really boost your knowledge of this post-COVID season in our sector. It's not every webinar I've been on that spoke to my industry the way I really, really, really needed to. But when you are in these forums, in these agencies and networks, you will, did I write any? I can't remember if I wrote any in the book. I can't, but maybe I did. I'm not sure. But those things are the
If you did, I will hold you to give us to give us some of the lists. If you did not, when we buy the book on Monday, we'll go through it, and then you have to give us some of those associations.
I hope I did. I'm hoping I did. But so those are the quickest ways. And let me tell you another thing. So with Katie Wang, what Katie Wang does is that we are an export trading and sourcing company. And it's very simple. It means I get the job done, right? That's our motto. We get the job done. If it's in garments, if it's in apparel, we get it done. Doesn't matter what it is. So it means that when you say you can do something, I hope you know it doesn't mean that you know all things. And if you don't know all things, it means that you're going to need several different hands to do the job. I had a job recently for a bank 3 weeks ago now. That job was a new thing for us completely in Katie Wang. We had to get a new person on board. She has 6 tailors, and this woman was the only person that could do it. The people that have 30 people, they couldn't figure it out. The beauty about community is that everybody can do something. Everybody. And what you bring to the table does not matter in size, but in the expertise. So make sure, if I were you, I will ensure that the 3 people I have, they are good. Let them be good. Please let them be good. Don't take interns and say you have 3 people. You have 2.5 or 1.5. That's not the same, right? So get yourself good people. In fact, send me a message. I will personally give you jobs that I have right now. This one, and let me say this: when you are starting, be humble. It's only now that I can be doing face. I'm saying I'm not taking 100 naira at 100,000 and flick my hair backwards. I did not start that way. Oh, don't be misled. Oh, I didn't start that way. But if you want the job, I can give it to you. If you want the job, I just show me the samples, because our process is very easy. I've made it easy for manufacturers to join us, and all of that. Just show me your sample. If it meets the grade, if it meets the grading, we check grading, we check quality of fabric. Sometimes if it's a very high network individual, whatever company that gives us the job, we will supply you the fabric because we want to keep everything standardized. You understand? Like, there are different processes that we have. But my point is that don't start with, oh, I can't join anybody, I can't satisfy. No, from that 1 million, I may give you 2,000 based on your 3 people capacity, because I'm not sentimental about what I give.
Yeah.
When we do the production plan, we look at all the manufacturers and say, manufacturer A, B, C, D, E, F, G can do 10,000. Of course, I can do 100,000 a week. I don't, guys, I'm repeating this. I don't yet have my own factory, and I get these jobs done. I don't. So there is nothing you can tell me.
I have a factory. We will talk after this.
Absolutely. So for me, I think it's really important, because I think it was which day somebody was asking me for t-shirts. I think she was from Angola or from, look, let me put this one, it's not export gist. The day you promise yourself that this is the least I will ever be, watch what will start to happen. You just make up your mind with your 3 people.
You're preaching good, man.
With the 3 people, just say, we will never be less than these 3. We are going from these 3 to 15 to 50 to 50,000. Watch now, It's not one day Rome was built, but it was built. Are you getting my point? So build your export journey. It's an export journey. It's not an export job or export instantaneous anything. There's nothing instantaneous about export. So you don't start tomorrow, but you start the process tomorrow. Okay, so I hope that helped.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Okay, so the other question I want to ask you is, now with everything you have said is fantastic.
Sorry,
what if
I'm
someone who isn't?
Sorry, Kesiana?
Yes.
Who is Kesiana? Is that a speaker?
Yeah,
he's there. Yes.
Okay.
He's there. Harry.
Hi. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to be sure that we're not being bombed. We're not bombed.
Okay. No. He's the admin. He's the one you've been talking to.
Awesome. I remember the name now, Kesiana Harry. I remember.
So,
I do.
Yes. So what if I'm not interested in face mask or in making the PPE wares?
Yes.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a fashion entrepreneur. What are the other opportunities that are coming up post-COVID? What would you think people should be looking at?
Okay.
I'm not passionate about that aspect of making all of those things, but I want to also get my business ready, for post-COVID. What production should I be looking at? Are people buying more of t-shirts now? Are people buying housewares? What exactly should I be looking at?
So I think right now you are going to have to develop a skill I like to call a futurist mind. It's a skill you can develop whereby you travel into time and you look at what is the possibility of my industry. It's something you're going to have to develop. And I'm saying this, and I'm saying it towards the end of what I'm saying, but it is a critical and key, almost like superpower you are going to have to develop. Do you know that, I don't know where I imagined it or I saw it, I can't remember. But for the fashion space, particularly, you're going to have to do 2 things. If I want your goods, for those of you who send goods to maybe US or UK, and they say, oh, I want to make 30 pieces of this thing, right? Then you now say, send me a picture of yourself. You have just lost a chunk of a good market. And I'll explain. If you are listening to me and you are a retailer and the producer of what you retail, you will have to develop an app that allows me to punch in my own dimensions for you. If I'm in Brazil, I will put in my details. I will put in all the things that are personal to me. In fact, I will have a profile such that if I want you to make me this item and you are in Nigeria, I can reach you via technology. Because now post-COVID states that you are technology. You are a technology business with fashion items. You are no longer a fashion business. Are you getting my point? So as you are, you need to incorporate these new realities of an app. Remember, technology just means getting things done easier. It's not the one that will complicate your customer's head and mind and all of that. So you make sure that you put the necessary futuristic methods of your customers being able to, one, reach you, two, for them to be able to tell you more about themselves in a more interactive way, which comes through via the app. Now, let's talk a bit about design for those who are fashion designers and all of that. Right now, you and I know that nose masks are now a fashion accessory that nobody can do without, okay? We cannot do without face masks in our clothing now. One, a lot of countries have mandated it. A lot of people want to keep safe and all of that. So what you do is, how about you create pieces that come as an all-in-one, like a hoodie that already comes with a nose mask?
Yeah.
Or a dress that comes, like, you're going to have to find a beautifying method. I don't know, I'm not into design at all, but find a way to incorporate this new accessory that every single person has to wear, incorporate it into my daily wear, whether my lounge wear, if I want to get to the supermarket, and all of that. Why must face masks come by the ear? What other ways can you think of? Like, if you're a designer, you know how to take yourself on that creative journey. But really looking at how you can make our pre-COVID garments relevant in this season. Of course, we're still going to wear clothes. I'm wearing clothes now, even though I'm wearing my pajama bottoms. I'll show you my husband. I said, can you imagine my life? I'm going for a webinar, I wear a nice top, and I'm wearing my pajama bottoms. But so what? That's what a lot of us do. It doesn't matter. I'm being real with you. Did you see the post on the CNN guy who appeared on CNN? And he showed his boxers by mistake. So he wore a suit, a tie, a jacket, a suit and tie, but only wore the jacket and tie and shirt and left it, That's what we're coming into.
I'm doing the same thing as well. I'm only wearing this and I have a lounge wear down there.
So you need to help us look at that dynamic. How can you help us? If it's top, call it a top, what I'm saying is like the top part of our body, right? Selection, something, no problem. Shall give it to us, but make sure that we are comfortable below, because nobody is seeing they can't see my full body. So
exactly.
All things are things that I think as fashion designers and as retailers, we are going to need to incorporate from the design phase, right, all the way down to distribution. You are going to need to, open yourself up. Now, here's something I want to think about. It's a question, so it's not like I have an answer. Netherlands, New Zealand, I think, has said that they are no longer reporting new cases of COVID, right? That was announced over the week. What can you export to New Zealand? What? Go and do the homework. Since their borders, even though they said their borders may not be open for a while, but start thinking. Because I say to people, between product development and product launch, you don't want to know the work, go back and forth. So do all your homework, use this time, this downtime, use it to develop a product, use it to bring your skills bring it to bear in a product that will serve a country. Do you know, I dare say this, Iriolua, Nigeria can service China.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree
telling
with
you,
you.
we can.
I agree with you. Yeah.
You need to just show them something that they need
Yeah.
and you can supply. A
Yeah.
lot of countries, Irelua, are going to go on, they are going to be in farming. It's a shame, but it is going
Yeah.
to happen because nobody is growing their
Yeah.
crops. The farms they are not
Yeah.
harvesting anything. Things are just dying and all. Where will the food supply come from? From people in other countries with less cases and the lockdown has been eased, i.e. Nigeria, and we can start
Yeah.
to really
Yeah.
export food products to different parts of the world. How
Yeah.
can tissue paper be 200 pounds in London, a box of 12? 200 pounds
Mm.
is the equivalent of 110,000 naira for a box of 12. 110K.
So if I was producing tissue right now, I'm making a lot of money.
But this is what I'm saying, Iroluwa. You said something critical that I think sometimes as business owners we overlook. Sometimes your eyes are blind to the opportunities around you. You said I have a factory. You said I didn't think about it. It's possible to have something and not think it's worthy of anything. I'm telling you, it's possible. Because I said that tissue that they're selling for 110,000 naira, you better wipe away my shame. Oh. Let it wipe my shame away. Because I don't understand what it is. Why is it costing so much? But the person who wants to now export to Nigeria, to other countries in wherever, just find out the regulations. How do I get my product into London? How do I get my product into Bristol? You don't even need to supply London. You can start with West Yorkshire. You can start with North England. Think about the different things that you can do, all right, with what you have. So I hope I've answered that question. I don't know if Orelua is back. I think her network sort of went off.
She's not back yet, but in the
Okay.
meantime, I was going to put up the mail you sent. If there's anything you want to talk about, that
Okay.
the mail you
Okay.
sent
Sure.
as regards to
Sure.
the new
Sure.
export opportunity.
Sure.
Coming up. This is it, right?
Yes. Okay. So when you look at this, what I would like to call opportunities, these export opportunities, recently advertised, BCB is a platform. Okay. There are some things that must continuously be open on your computer, on your tabs, on your laptop. These sort of platforms are good. Okay. This is also somewhere in the book. Um, so below are the links related. So it tells you which of the sectors it's going into. So food and drink, those of you who are in fashion, those of you who are in different ones. So these are the lists. Maybe you can click on any one. Let's look at it. Let's look at accessories maybe. There's jewelry there. There's hair accessories. There's underwear. There's coats and jackets, bags, shoes, watches. I mean, the list is endless. There's clothing, children's clothing. There's beauty products. There's women's watches, there's women's shoes, women's bags. Click on any. Let's go for any of them. Fantastic. So it says here that the UAE is looking for, this is a business opportunity for from an overseas buyer, right? Pitch for the business and explain how your company meets their requirements. This one closes July 2020. So of course you still have enough time to go through it. It says here a buyer distributor is looking for a UK company that can supply mid-range to high-end. Already you can see that the product is not for children, okay? You should be able to supply, but not limited to denim, sportswear, streetwear. You should be a UK manufacturer or supplier for clothing for boys and girls between 0 to 16. 1 second. Okay. Now, wait. Before you go ahead. So the thing is, of course, somebody now is not saying, I'm based here in Nigeria. Yes, you are. But remember what I said about third party. if you are the third party and you know that you can find, a UK company that can supply this mid-range, hit them up. Hit them up. You do the research. So your research will no longer be that you are the one to supply, you are the one to manufacture. In this case, you are the supplier. All right. So you take that position and you reach out to the UK company. Remember that, don't think that everybody knows this thing is online. Before today, some of you did not know this was online.
Yeah.
So don't think that because it's online, everybody sees it. No, no. So you just tell the company, hey guys, I have a job that I'm taking on, but unfortunately because of one or two things, I can't take it or whatever. I supply companies these things, blah, 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 blah. Send me. Now, unfortunately, Irelua, I can't go into the step by step on what you must now do if you want to be the supplier. That's just like a whole webinar on its own. But notice what they said here, that value of contract, of course, they hardly, talk about the value, but in some cases in that you may find, and it says that the opportunity is closing 17th of July. Now, keep scrolling for a minute. Let me see if there's anything else important here. Okay. Express your interest to the British Center for Business in UAE. The British Center for Business is our chosen partner. You see this already. So meaning that if you are a smart manufacturer, you will join British Center for Business in UAE. That's what I'm saying. They won't go through individuals. I wrote it in the book. I said, look, if you start your journey wanting to get all your jobs by yourself, you will go with a long route. But when you join trusted agencies, trusted bodies, you are fine. Look at this next one for jewelry. It says here, an online marketplace wants unique and artisan jewelry. I like the fact that they specified artisan, because what happens is that in countries like South America, Santa Fe, New Mexico, all those places, they prefer handmade stuff, and they sell them at a premium price, but they like the fact that it's been handmade, and then sometimes they even like them having stories. So maybe this came from the north of Nigeria, from clay that's kinikon. You understand? Just add jamo story that will sell the whole matter. Oh, na packaging, let me tell you. Oh, na packaging. So they said that they want earrings, neck jewelry, armlets, rings. You can see the whole thing is there. So you manage, it says here that the online marketplace will manage the supply of the entire payment process and look at this. Oh, I just can't supply everything. But this is like so good. If you notice that in the last one, in the last order, it didn't state it. It didn't state it.
Yeah.
It just said that they are looking for it and they just want to deal with BCB. BCB is the one that will not get back to them, maybe shortlist the people and all of that. Look, reach for the stars. If you reach for the moon, you may end up in the stars. So don't say, how would they choose me? If you apply to 50, if there's nothing wrong with your destiny, they will choose you. One will call you back and say, come, let us try you. Are you getting my point? So please don't write yourself off. Don't say we are too small. Don't say we are. I've seen smaller, people achieve bigger things. All right. So this one is an online marketplace again. Do you notice the word that? Do you notice the people looking for these things? Online marketplace. Online marketplace. Join them. I wrote some in the book. I think I wrote 3 of those. Join them. So they want unique and artisan women's clothing. Again, this sort of thing from countries like Ethiopia. They have beautifully made artisan type of women's wear, and all of that. Again, it says that the marketplace will supply the whole process, meaning that you don't worry. We only need the product from you. We will manage the process of your payment and the delivery to customers. What else do you need? And then every week or every 2 weeks, they'll be remitting your accounts with the social money that I'm telling you, you'll be sleeping and smiling. When you're smiling, because life is good. You understand? So it's saying here, however, there's a clause. It's saying that products will not be bought directly from you, but in some cases, an agreement can be reached. Let me just explain what that means. It means that, number one, as the marketplace, we're not buying from you. We are going to do some form of consignment, like a Jumia kind of arrangement, whereby you bring the product, or that we would know that, let me say it better, the products will be available in your warehouse or our warehouse, just like Amazon, right? Amazon can either take it off you or you deliver directly, right? But there are several options that sometimes Amazon will keep some items, maybe because it's a fast-moving consumer good or something like that, and they will now say, okay, bring some of your earrings because it seems to be flying off the shelf, and then they will pay you maybe upfront or whatever. But there are different ways that they can come to an arrangement with you, and you have to be flexible, and that's why I'm saying that in export manufacturing, in export delivery, in export pricing, your cash must be really, really strong. You must have cash, because if they are keeping your goods, it means you're not getting paid every day. You are getting paid bulk at certain times of the month. You are going to need to factor all those things in how you accept jobs, how you meet your local demand. Like, are you getting my point? You really need to, yeah. Any other question?
Yeah.
Any other question?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I wouldn't even want us to take too much of your no. No, I've lost the chat. I don't know if anybody asked the question that hasn't been answered. But honestly, Olori, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I am so grateful for this. I mean, we couldn't have, if we were to pay you for this, we'll be paying a whole lot. And I have told everybody who is on today to make sure they go to your handle and say thank you. I'm going to force the book down their throats because I'm a firm believer of education. You can never go where your mind hasn't gone to.
Yes.
And you only travel in your mind by the information you put in there.
Right.
So there are quite a lot of them who registered. We actually had, from the last time I gathered, we had over 80 people registered, and not everybody came up. So we will make sure we spread the news of your book. We can't wait for it. I'm glad, we're getting to enjoy that discount. Thank you so much for being so amazing. Thank you for the wealth of knowledge. Not a lot of people will come up and share everything you opened up to us, and we're so grateful. We're so grateful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We can't thank you enough. Yes. So, any final words? Any final advice? What would you want to say to us that
So, without sounding cliche and all of that, export is really tomorrow's business. And like I said, it's not I'm selling my Gary to in Ghana, let's not even go too far. I just want you to see it as I'm selling this to as many people possible worldwide, right? I know there are restrictions in trade. I know trading is not as easy. Even Pan-African, ECOWAS, ETLS, all of that has tried to help us in mitigating all those restrictions. But I want you to see it as I am going to get this product to everywhere possible. Now, notice, so not everybody can come to you again. So you're going to have to intensify your digital footprint. What did I say? That's what I want to leave you with. Intensify your digital blueprint. If you don't have companies, I have somebody that has changed one of the companies that I work for. She's affordable, she's excellent, and that's what you really need. Honestly speaking, that's what you really need in this season. Excellence and affordability. So let me see. Maybe I'll send you the contact. Oh, should I put it here?
Yes, Can't
Okay, let me try and put it
see.
here. If you want mentorship, oh, I didn't even know I hadn't read many of the um messages. I'm so
Comments.
sorry. I was just talking.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Mercy. Hi, Mercy. I can see my people. Oh, please let me say hello to them. Hi, Mercy. How are you? How are you
No, it's fine.
doing? Oh, lovely, lovely. Who else do I know? Olajumoke. Is it possible that Olajumoke? Because I only have one Olajumoke in my life at the moment, which is Bossy. Let me see who else. So Kende Glory says we need jobs too. Don't worry, guys. We're in this together. I can't leave my people behind. Once you're ready to walk, yes.
Yeah.
So for the associations and all of that, it will be in the book. As Irelu had already said. Let me just quickly go through. Uh, okay. Thank you. Yes. I think I've gone through as fast as I can. So what did I say I wanted to type? Please remind me. The person's handle, right? Let me just type her handle on.
You were
Um,
going to put a contact. Yeah.
yes. Let me give you her email. I think email is better, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then her handle too,
Yeah,
because
I think.
one can look through what she's done
Okay,
and all of that.
that's true. That's true. She was the one that actually produced Auntie Betty Rabo's new television show with Linda Ikeji. But what she
Oh,
did
okay.
is that she understands how this digital thing works, and it's not supposed to be expensive that nobody can do it. So she's done a lot of
Mm,
things for small business owners. So that's her email. Has it delivered?
okay.
Let me see if I can get her
Mm.
handle. I can't remember.
Yes, it
Okay, I
does.
got the handle. So this is the handle. Just tell her Olori said she must give you discounts. That is not the real price that she should please give you. She should give you the other price. Okay, so that's her
Definitely.
Instagram handle.
Okay.
So just send
Okay.
her a
Okay.
DM
Okay.
and just say, Ma, I'm needing a digital footprint now, and then let's take it from,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Olori.
No
I mean,
problem.
I am blown away. We're so grateful. Oh, okay. She left already. Okay. Thank you, guys. We're so grateful. Thank you all for being here. I'm sure we all had a wonderful time. So please go to A Plus Fashion Academy. Go to AAF Academy underscore. Put in DM us so that we can put everybody in a group, and then we will get Olori to put up the opportunities that are available to designers there. I would make sure I'm in touch with her so that we can get those opportunities right away. And I'm sure that it's going to start on Monday. So don't delay. Go today. First, go on the handle, say thank you. Go on her handle, say thank you. And then we will create a group for everyone and put out all the opportunities as they come. So I'm sure we all had a wonderful time. Let me see your yes, yes, yes. But please still go to Instagram and put down your comments and let us know that you want to join the community for exporting so that we can put you on it. Give us your phone number and your email address so that we can put everyone on it. Thank you all so much. Do have a good evening. We also have other opportunities for a lot of entrepreneurs. For those of you who are fashion entrepreneurs, just follow us. Keep following us. We have many other opportunities. We have lots of webinars coming up. Next week, we have some guy from the US who is going to be talking to us about how to run a sustainable made-to-measure business. We have someone else from London who is going to be talking about branding, because a lot of fashion businesses really need to brand their business appropriately. I'm also releasing a book on how to run a proper ready-to-wear business. In that book, I discussed supply chain management, I discussed production management, I discussed pricing, and we're also going to have a workbook where you can, whilst read the book, you can develop a model for your business. So please follow us so that you can stay informed with all the amazing things we're doing. We have so many amazing things we're doing, and we're excited to work with every one of you. Thank you all for spending the time to come. I hope your time and your airtime being here was worth it. And I hope you all had a wonderful time. Please, I need you to do me this favor of going to say thank you to Olori because